What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on Draftkings for Friday, March 12th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite contender for this slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Dwayne Bacon, Jimmy Butler, Russell Westbrook, Derek White, and John Wall if he plays. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. I assume most of you will see this name and say, who? Number 5, Anthony Lamb, power forward eligible, just 3,300, projected for 17. The goal is 33. He's in the optimal lineup 26% of the time. Now, I don't expect Lamb to be here as the slate moves on. I think we'll open up a bit more value and he will get pressed out. But if John Wall happens to be out, there aren't a lot of bodies going around for the Houston Rockets, and paying down for Anthony Lamb is a pretty easy value option. 19% usage, 9 points, very little elsewhere. I expect Utah to smack Houston tonight, especially with the guys that I'm thinking are out for the Rockets. So there's going to be a lot of blowout run going around. I think Anthony Lamb could see even more minutes. This one's tricky. This value exists now because it's 8:30 in the morning. I don't know if it stays, but I can tell you this much. The Houston Rockets are the center of value on this slate. Now at number 4, we're going to power forward eligible Tobias Harris. He's 8,300, projected for 46. Goal is 51. Optimal lineup 26% of the time. Wasn't all that great yesterday, but I think it's a little bit better to have Joel Embiid back. Ben Simmons still out. So 36 minutes, 1.27 fantasy points per minute, 27% usage, almost 25 real points, 8 boards, 5 assists, massive pace up spot for Tobias Harris and the Sixers. They gained 4.5 possessions over their average. That's huge. Washington's defense not all that good anyway. This spot could not be better for Tobias Harris. I love him here. I wish he had dual eligibility, but it's okay right now. I expect Tobias Harris to be one of my top 10 plays of the day, no matter what happens. And speaking of 76ers, number 3, center eligible Joel Embiid, 10,700. Welcome back from the COVID list, by the way. 60 fantasy point projection. The goal is 59. He does that more than 50% of the time. 37% chance of being in the optimal. You can see we took a huge step up in tier. 34 minutes, 1.78 fantasy points per minute with Ben Simmons off the floor. He actually has like a 40+% usage rate. I had to bring that down. He's been at like 1.9 fantasy points per minute. You have to load up an Embiid here. 33 real points, 12.5 boards, 4 assists, 3 stocks, and that same monster pace up matchup against a team that cannot defend him. I think Joel Embiid fully works over the Washington Wizards tonight. You will need him. You will need him 33% or 37% of the time. He just looks great. Well worth the pay up spot for Embiid. There's more than enough value to get to him. He clearly looks fantastic. Gotta have Embiid. And just for those that ask, I have no problem pairing Embiid and Tobias Harris. Next up at number 2, makes it a lot easier to get to Joel Embiid. Pay down for Kenyon Martin, power forward eligible, the flat minimum, 3K. I've got him projected for 27. The goal is 32. He's in the optimal lineup. Look at that number, 59% of the time. If Kenyon Martin plays 30 minutes, and I think that he can, given how short-handed the Houston Rockets are and potentially can be even more so, 0.9 fantasy points per minute, 21% usage, 12.7 boards. Tough matchup against Utah, but we are making this play for minutes. You're not going to find a lot of guys playing 30 minutes that aren't just like 0.6 fantasy point per minute guys. I think he plays 30 minutes at the flat minimum today. Unquestionably great value play. If we see Daniel House in and Wall and Oladipo in, Martin will come down because he won't get those same kind of minutes, but I think he's a value play no matter what. If we happen to see Wall, Oladipo, and Daniel House out, buckle up, guys. You're going to need a ton of value from Houston. Kenyon Martin is one of the key pieces, too. Now, before we get to number 1, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when it all goes live. Slide on over to Twitter, follow at Josh Engleman so you can get my sim updates, and then let me know in the comments section who's your favorite and least favorite contender. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Anthony Lamb is the least favorite contender today. And finally, the clear-cut #1 contender, shooting guard, small forward eligible, just 3,200 for Kevin Porter Jr. He might be the starting point guard today if John Wall is out. He's probably the backup. I have him playing 34 minutes at just 3,200. He can be at shooting guard, small forward, utility. He's close to a fantasy point per minute guy, 17 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. I don't care who they're playing. They could play the Monstars. They could play the Dream Team. If Kevin Porter Jr. is playing 34 minutes at a guard forward eligible spot at 3,200, he's the clear best option. He's in the optimal lineup 3 out of every 4 times we played this slate. And it could be even higher depending on who gets ruled out. You can't go a different direction. He is, without question, the first guy you're putting into every single cash lineup. He will be the most popular guy on this slate if everything that I'm assuming stays true. Oladipo out, House out, Gordon out. If that all happens, Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be like 80% owned, and he absolutely should be. He is quite clearly the #1 play on this slate, and he's only been back in the NBA playing real minutes for a day. You got to get Kevin Porter Jr. That price tag is fully broken. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, March 12th. We made it through the week. I'll be back again Monday morning with another edition of Contenders. So good luck tonight, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.